It is 12:33. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk. Thando Makhubu, a self-employed photographer from Soweto, opened an ice cream business during the coronavirus pandemic, and he is joining me on the line to tell us more about it. Good day, Tabo and Thando, and thank you for joining me.
Afternoon, how are you? I hope you're good. Hello to
I'm very
everyone.
well, thank you. All right, so now you have an interesting story to tell about how you started your business and the fact that it was mentioned by the president himself during the State of the Nation address. Tell us about you. Tell us about your business.
Okay, cool. So, uh, before lockdown and before Soweto Creamery, I was a boy from Soweto. I was born and bred in Soweto. I was raised by a single mother and a granny, where my mother was always at work, and then my granny was looking after us, and then went to school. As soon as I matriculated, I didn't know what I wanted to do because I didn't have a mentor or an older brother that would advise me. So I took a gap year. And then after taking a gap year, my mother was like, "You need to go to school. Please go to UJ and ask which courses have space be- be- because it's already late." So I went to
Mhm.
UJ. They told me that the course that has space is fashion designing. So I enrolled for fashion, not knowing what I was getting myself into. There was sewing, there was all of those things. So yeah, I, I, I graduated, and then I started my own brand called Oats Authentic Denim. Then it
Mhm.
grew. As it grew, I thought to myself, I need a camera that I can shoot this product so I can show the people, you see. And then I invested in a camera. That was my first camera. Then I went to the internet, specifically YouTube, to learn
Mhm.
more about photography. And then I fell in love with photography, and I focused more into photography. And then as I was growing, I thought to myself, let me just use my qualification for the corporate world so I can learn more about the corporate world and how they do things. So I went to EdCon. I worked there for like 18 months. It was a learnership. I was a trainee merchant, learning about supply and demand and all of those things. But it wasn't great. Business vibes, corporate vibes isn't really my thing. I left. The team was shocked. Like, hey, you can't leave. Hey, it's unemployment, all of those things. As I was working, I was saving half of the money so I could reinvest it back into my photography. And focused
Mhm.
in photography, and I was working only in photography, specifically events photography. And then, yeah, everything was good, everything was great. I could afford everything, I could maintain my lifestyle. And then COVID came. Boom, yo, no work, no
Yeah.
money, nothing. It was frustrating, it was bad. Like always watching the news, always looking online, what's going on? Is this real? Oh God, it's crazy. And then the president said we can apply for the 350. The 350 is for the people who are unemployed and all of those things. And then I applied. There was a WhatsApp line. I used WhatsApp. I used email. I used the SMS line. I was making sure that I get this money so at least I can do something at home. So
Mhm.
eventually I got approved. And then after getting approved, I used the money to start Soweto Creamery. So how it started, people who know me know that I love food and I'm a foodie and I have a sweet tooth. So
Mhm.
I'm on this app called Pinterest, and I see this ice cream which is interesting. Never seen anything like this, you know, and I want to try it out, and I didn't even think twice about it. So I was like, let me just try it out. You see, it wasn't a business idea, it was an experiment. And
Mhm.
luckily for me, through photography, I met a celebrity called Mhale. And at the time, his Instagram was approaching 1 million followers. And we WhatsApped him what we had created, and he liked it. He came through 2 days later after creating two products called Chocolate Overload, which is full of chocolate and chocolate, and Planet Sweetness, which is sweet and colorful. He came through
Mm-hmm.
and he loved it. He took images of the product. He took images of him posted it on his Instagram, his Facebook, and his Twitter. After that, it was chaos. Our Instagram page grew from 50 followers to 6,000 in a space of hours. And then we had calls and WhatsApp. It was crazy. And then that's how we grew.
Wow. Such an amazing story, and I love your passion, especially when you talk about your products and how you describe them. It's like, yeah, you know what? You love what you do. I mean, and they say when you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. Well, guess what? You're going to work every single day of your life. But why ice cream? Why did you choose ice cream of all things that you could have sold?
So as I said, it wasn't really a thing of I'm thinking about it. Like I saw this and I'm like, I'm trying it out. I didn't even think that it's ice cream or what. In my life, I never thought that I would be selling ice cream ever, ever, ever. So that ice cream that I saw really inspired me, and I was like, let me just try it out. It was a try out. It wasn't a planned thing. Like, let me just try it out. You see, using the inspiration of that ice cream and trying to create something beautiful from this inspiration, and making it my own, and sharing it with my friends and family.
Now, tell us about some of your ingredients and some of your best-selling products. I mean, I'm here on your Instagram right now, and everything looks so mouth-watering and delicious. Can't wait to try them. So, tell us some of your best-selling products.
Okay, cool. So our best selling product is your chocolate overload, followed by Planet Sweetness. Those were the first two that we created, followed by Caramel Canyon, followed by Junior, followed by Mint Immensity, and then the others follow. So we decided to create other flavors to accommodate because other people love minty stuff. So that's why we created Mint Immensity. Other people prefer caramel over chocolate. That's why we created Caramel Canyon. And then Junior, we created it because the customers were complaining that the portion for the kids that we offer is a lot. So we created a junior. It's much smaller than our regular size, which is 500 mils of joy and sweetness. And then we also created an option called the Frutiza, which is a fruit sorbet. It's recommended for people who are vegan and people who are lactose intolerant. We also created one last year. It was meant to be a limited run called Thando. We actually created it during August, Women's Month, to celebrate women.
hmm That's fantastic. Now, how has the business changed your life?
So, Soweto Creamery really showed me that it's possible if you really want something and you are willing to work for it, it's possible. And it showed me that it's not about how much you have. You see, it's more about how bad do you want it, one, and two, who you know as well, namely Mahali, because Mahali really helped us. And then three, the power of social media. Social media is free. We need to try and use it. It's there to assist us connect to more people.
Now, with the employment rate so high, what can one do to empower themselves?
So it's really unfortunate that not everyone is like me, or like an entrepreneur, or like a businessman. You see, some of us prefer employment, which is not a bad thing. You just have to know who you are and where you stand. So for a person like me who left work, I just left work. I couldn't take it. You see? But my advice in these trying times is that you need to try and spend less and save some and look at uh, things that can grow your money. You see, rather than saving it away and not having a plan for it, save it away for investment opportunities.
And what are your plans for the future with the Soweto Creamery?
Okay, cool. So plans for Soweto Creamery is to ultimately grow the brand vertically, meaning that we start producing our own ice cream and hopefully start manufacturing and uh, pasteurizing our own milk and having more products. You see, have your milk, have your yogurt, cheese. You see, and have Soweto Creamery products in retail stores. And then we've also had people or customers who are really in franchising, and also grow Soweto Creamery in that regard and have Soweto Creamery nationwide. At this point, we're still operating from home. As you know, we are at Soweto. We are really small. The space is really cramped up. So our step one ultimately is to find a commercial space within a Soweto, maybe your 1,000 square meter, and create a restaurant vibe. Have that ice cream that we already offer, increase the assortment, have some waffles, have some smoothies, have some milkshakes, have some food. Create that vibe of a restaurant where it's chilled and it's nice and you can meet your family.
All right, Thando, let us take a quick break. And when we come back, I'd like to talk about the sauna and the mentioning and how that made you feel. But please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Keen, I managed to stop all the riba, Hajo. This insurance price is going up again.
Oh, we are not free of riba, Babu. You need to stop the insurance.
We have to have insurance, Hajo. You know how bad it is with all the crime and the accidents.
Have a little yakin now, Babu.
Yeah, man, I do have a little yakin. But I wish there was a way to leave all these riba insurance companies, man. It's my riba.
Babu, I can't handle this. The stench. It stinks.
Is that my underarms?
No, the riba stinks. Please find a way to stop this riba insurance, Babu.
Leaving riba insurance is easier than you think. Call Amana IFS for all your personal and commercial takaful needs. 0861 786 393. Amana, leave riba for good. Amana IFS is a registered financial services provider.
When bombs rained down on Gaza, Islamic Relief responded immediately with life-saving aid. When the cameras left, we remained to rebuild the shattered lives. We believe that not a leaf falls, but that Allah knows it. You too can help Islamic Relief rebuild Gaza. Donate today at www.islamic-relief.org.za.
Kids these days are smart, and when you're competing for their attention against their smartphones, you need to make smart choices, like using Sunfoil triple refined pure sunflower oil in every meal you make. It's naturally cholesterol-free and approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a balanced eating plan. So whether you're cooking, frying, or baking, you get the great tasting results that'll get their attention faster than the latest app. And if that doesn't work, change the Wi-Fi password. Sunfoil. Now we're cooking.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Maryam Mkwanda. It is 12:47. During his speech at this year's State of the Nation address, or SONA, President Cyril Ramaphosa gave Makhubu and his business a special shout-out. Makhubu is Thando Makhubu and the owner of Soweto Creamery, and he's joining me on the line to chat to us more about it. Thando, thank you for staying on the line now. How did you feel when you were mentioned at the State of the Nation address?
It's crazy. At the time of the State of the Nation address, I was at the gym. I wasn't even watching. I was working out, And then after the session, I went on my phone and then I saw messages, a lot of messages, missed calls from friends and family, old friends, and it was crazy. And then I opened up one of the videos that they sent me, and it was the president, and he was like, "Mr. Thando Makhubu." I couldn't believe. I rewinded, I replayed it. Mr. Thando Makhubu of Soweto. I'm like, goodness gracious me. It felt unreal. And I'm really honored that the president mentioned the Soweto Creamery and the sauna. And I hope that the story is an inspiration to other people who want to start something.
Yeah, no, it is definitely an inspiration, and I'm sure all those who are listening and watching and have no idea on how to go about starting with their businesses can take some inspiration from you, because you started with what, 700 rand. You saved your 350 rand grant for 2 months and decided to go, and you were not even expecting the turnout. It was just a trial project, and then boom! I mean. You were there, and all of a sudden being mentioned by the president, and maybe you'll get the next tender when it comes to supplying dessert for the government.
I wouldn't know.
Well, good luck to you, and thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us. But before you leave, where can we find Soweto Creamery?
Okay, cool. We are on most social media platforms. On Facebook, there, Soweto Creamery, cream ERY at the end. On Instagram, Soweto Creamery. On TikTok, Soweto Creamery. On Twitter, Soweto Creamery.
All right, and physically?
Physically, we are located in Soweto, Jabulani. We only have one branch at the moment. So all you have to do is open up your Google Maps, your Uber or your Taxify app, and type in Soweto Creamery. It's going to bring you straight to us. Or alternatively, if you're old school, it's either 5 Madlala Street, Echablani, or 01966 Mwana Street, Soweto, Echablani. And then we operate from Wednesday up until Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, we open at 2, we close at 5. Friday, we open at 2, we close at 6. Saturday and Sunday, we open at 2. No, we open at 12 and we close at 6. And then if you want to come as a family or a big group, especially on the weekends, we advise that you arrive between 12 and 2. Because if you arrive after 3, there's no space, it's full and all of those things.
All right. Good luck with your future endeavors. And when I come by, I'm going to ask for Thando.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for having me. Have a great afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thando Makhubu, the founder and owner of Soweto Creamery, something that started off as a pilot project and now has turned and brought in a lot of profits by just using 700 Rand, which he collected within 2 months. That was the COVID grant that was given. It's 350 Rand. So for 2 months, that equals 700 Rand. And he turned that 700 Rand into a booming business, which now employs 4 people and has everyone all over Soweto and surrounding areas talking about it. In fact, I'm on his Instagram page right now, and it has 55.5 thousand followers, and beautiful, delicious looking ice cream over here. And if you have a sweet tooth, you're probably gonna love what you see here. I'd love to show you, but I think you better go to the page yourself so that it will inspire you to go and visit the place, the shop, Soweto Creamery. Yeah, guys, they're very delicious looking things here. I think it's time. I think it's time I go and look for Soweto Creamery. You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media, and we'd also like to hear your success stories, how you have turned a little 350 rand grant to any small money into a booming business, something that you didn't expect would turn out the way it did. So send us a message on WhatsApp 061 or leave your comments in the comment section below, or get in touch with us via our Facebook messages, Twitter messages, or Instagram messages as well. We want to hear from you and share your inspirational story with the rest of the world, just like Thando did. But for now, stay with us. We'll be right back.